Welcome to Smackdown Live. Look, we have 1 week before Battleground, and this was an average show with only one thing that did grab your attention. Look, I saw Deluxe Man's video on how he felt the Smackdown Live went from big time in 2016. Then at the end of 2016 went around here, but it was still pretty high. And then just before WrestleMania, that's it. SmackDown Live has been ruined. They changed the writer, made Road Dogg the new writer, and the writer who's really making the show good is now the secondary writer. And they took a majority of the best talent they had that was really making the show really interesting. Which is sad because you look at Raw, the majority of those talents are not really doing anything now. Very few of them are doing. The Miz is doing alright, but most of the others are not. Look at Bray Wyatt. What is he doing? But anyway, this is about this show. And this show just felt really average. It wasn't bad. It had a few moments that was fun. Funny. That was pretty good. But still average. So let's get to the end of the show. AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Owens and Corbin. There was only one thing I enjoyed, and that was the backstage segment with AJ and Shinsuke. And Shinsuke kind of made it very obvious. AJ, you call, I answer. In other words, saying, hey, you want to put that US title up for grabs? I'm game for it. Now that's something I wouldn't be uninterested in seeing. I actually am very interested in seeing that. Now, if AJ manages to continue keeping that title, Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles at Battleground might actually be something. But the problem is there's been no build for it. With such a short amount of time, it's almost impossible to get any real enjoyment out of it. But a couple of months later, it would work. But still, this is what I see. The match, the beatdown. Well, the beatdown first, then the match. The heels won, which is okay. You got Owens winning. Alright. But it doesn't really mean anything. It just feels bleh. Now, Jimmy Uso versus Kofi Kingston. One of you guys tell me below. If you notice Chris Jericho and the dent he has in his chest right around here, or actually down here, is a dent in his chest. Some people are saying that it's a condition that wrestlers are now beginning to develop because of how they're working constantly in the ring and how they exercise, I believe. Or through the medicines and whatever they're taking. And it looks like Kofi Kingston's beginning to develop that same thing because he's already developing like a dent in his chest. You guys tell me below if you notice it because it's becoming quite apparent. You can see Kofi then and you can see Kofi now. Maybe I might get a picture of both of how he looked beforehand and I may stick it here and here if I can find one then and now. But you get my point. He doesn't look so good. Now, was this a good match? Yeah, Kofi did a good job. And I say this about Kofi Kingston. I gotta say this. Kofi has been around for quite a while. And I really believe a push for Kofi Kingston as a singles competitor going after the world title might actually be interesting. I know people are going to say, dude, come on. Why? Well, he's part of New Day. As a New Day partner or member, he actually would have two guys that can supplement for being funny, for making it interesting. Let Kofi Kingston, as the senior member of New Day, who's been around the longest, actually go after the WWE World Heavyweight title and have New Day be part of that. I would like to see that for Kofi. Now, if no one else sees it, fine. But I truly believe that if you throw Kofi into the main title scene with New Day by his side, we will get an entirely different dynamic. Something that really would surprise everyone, particularly that, you know, he's black. He's an African black. Anyway, the match between him and Jimmy wasn't so bad and Jimmy won. Just, I'm okay with it, but still, what am I really seeing here? There's nothing really substantial. It's still a good rivalry. And I want to see more of them talk than I want more wrestling. This is what I said. Make them talk more, not wrestle, and you got a great formula. But this is what we got. Now, the Kurt Angle segment that showed Chad Gable. Now, I did a video, the Raw Review Mini, talking about that, and I laughed my ass off. But it doesn't mean I'm 100% against Jason Jordan working with Kurt Angle as his son. I'm actually quite happy to see that Kurt Angle was willing to sign off on this. He actually put his best effort into trying to make Jason Jordan feel like his son. And I feel like that's a great thing. That's something good to see in WWE. They could have made that into a stupid joke, but they're trying to be serious with this, at least as far as it is at this moment. So if they continue making it serious and a good storyline, I'm all for it. But now it's Chad Gable that they're trying to put the shine on with Renee Young. And here's a problem. If you're going to do something with Chad Gable, he's got to be a heel. Of course, he's going to be a face for a little while, but he must turn heel. Because we got more faces than we have heels. Let's be honest here. Smackdown has more faces than heels. We need more heels than faces. We got too many faces. We need more bad guys. So turn Chad Gable bad. Make him angry after a certain amount of time. He tries to get things done, and then he fails, and then he turns heel. That does sound like Dolph Ziggler, but you know what? This is Chad Gable, a former Olympian. Let's see him turn dark. That actually would be much better of a story than the Dolph Ziggler. I'm just saying. I gotta get this over with. Mike Bennett versus Sami Zayn. I know a lot of people like Sami Zayn. I don't hate him. But let's be honest here. What has Sami done when he was on Raw, when he first came in, and what he's done here on SmackDown? Name me one thing that has been really interesting other than the underdog position he's been in. The guy is bigger than AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler. He's almost the same height. Not by much, but he's nearing the same height as a Baron Corbin. Of course, Baron's here and he's here, but everyone else is like him, like almost a freaking midget. So why are you making a guy that should be dominant and should be more of a character than he is now as still being considered an underdog? I don't see him anything other than that. And then you teamed him up with Mike Bennett. I know people are going to say Mike Kanellis. Say Mike Kanellis. No! I'm not calling him Mike Kanellis. He is Mike Bennett, the Miracle. I'm still going to stick with that moniker because he was like that in the Indies. He was like that in TNA. And really, it makes more better sense than calling him Mike Kanellis, the lover, not the Come on. Come on. Anyway, was the match good? No. There looked like there was some ring rust for Mike. The match really didn't look good. I just didn't feel like it looked right. And then he was pounding on the back of Sami Zayn like a little girl. And then his wife had to come in. Now, mind you, he could have been pounding on his back the way he was pounding just to make himself look weak. And I'm not taking that away from him. That's a good thing. It shows that he's in character. But I wanted to see him kick ass. Let's be honest. I don't want to see Maria Kanellis Bennett save Mike Bennett's ass. Mind you, no insult intended, ladies. She spread her legs a little bit too much to get into that ring. Almost like you want to look up her dress. I'm not being sexist and not being disgusting. But one of the problems when a woman wears a dress that tight is that it's going to ride up. And it's going to give guys a certain thought in their head. I'm one of those rare types of guys that's going to tell a woman, hey, you know your boobie's showing a little bit. Or I'm going to cover my eyes. If I can see a woman's breast, I'm going to cover my eyes. I know that sounds stupid this day and age, but that's actually the type of person I am. And if they say, what's wrong with you? You don't want to see a pair of boobs? I said, I'm supposed to be a respectful gentleman. I may be the only guy that's left to think about, what do you call it? Chivalry, but I think it still should be important. I do that. Actually, I do. It's one of the weird quirks of my personality these days. But anyway, that just made me think I want to look up her skirt. And that's what other guys would think, mostly. And in the end, Mike wins. But still, it just doesn't feel right not letting him actually win over Sami clean. Sami should be beaten clean. Because this will help Mike and build him up for his credibility when he goes away from Sammy. But if he's going to win like that, and it feels like Sammy is going to get over on him, then what are we doing with Mike Bennett? What are we doing with Maria Kanellis Bennett? Are they just eye candy? I'm just saying. Now this reminds me of the Fashion Popo and doing the Files. Oh, that was beautiful. That was a lovely segment. The guy coming in with the box and the light coming down on him, it was beautiful. Hearing that Tyler Breeze is saying there's no such thing as Christmas, there's no such thing as aliens, there's no such thing as a tooth fairy. Of course he didn't say all that, but I'm saying it. And then the light comes down and says, oh, beam me up, I want to be with E.T. Isn't that a little bit before your time, Tyler? That was done around 83, 84. Or was that 82? No. 83, 82. I was 11 and 12 years old. You're in your 20s. Unless you're a TV and movie buff, I think that's a little bit before your time. Are you an old man or something? I should be older than you. Anyway, I enjoyed the segment. Now, what I didn't enjoy was the, how can I say this? When it came to the match between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, Becky helped Charlotte a lot. I know a lot of people will say Charlotte has great ability, great skill. She's great in the ring. Dude, she's only great in the ring. I'm getting frustrated here. I've seen a lot of people, including the Lex Men, say that Charlotte Flair is great. She's wonderful. But I really see her for what she is. She's still green. She was rushed to the main roster too soon. And the problem was she was given a position too high. And I just feel like she should not have been there. Did she do good work? Yeah, she did to a certain extent because she had the right people by her side. Now she's got to work with people outside the ones she came up with NXT eventually. Naomi was a prime example of that. When you see her dealing with Naomi, you could see that she was botching left, right, and center because she was totally unfamiliar. Now, I know a lot of wrestlers go through that. They deal with someone new. There's going to be some botchiness. But after that, she didn't clean up. She didn't really work more with Naomi. And the worst thing is, her mic skills are still bad. Many people say Naomi's mic skills suck. But Naomi improved her mic skills. All last year, I didn't see one time Charlotte Flair improve her mic skills. She thought if she did the William Shatner like this, I am William Shatner, and I'm going to emphasize every word that is coming out of my mouth. She's not William Shatner. And she's not her dad. And she needs a style that works with herself. And I just don't see her doing it. When she had that segment with Shane McMahon and everybody else, when she didn't do the emphasis, she actually sounded a lot better. When she doesn't emphasize every word, every other word, or every word she says, she actually sounds better and she sounds more genuine. When she talks like, I must talk like this, she sounds stupid. Now, was the match important? No. But here's the interesting thing. Tamina comes out with Lana, destroys all three of them, and here's the thing. Tamina looks at... I just see this in the respect of a lost opportunity if they don't go there. There's a possibility they are grooming Tamina to face Naomi. And I know a lot of people are going to say, Tamina's a fucking jobber. Why do you care? I do care because she deserves one shot at a title. And I actually get it. Every time when she's given an opportunity, she's dropped. And it doesn't make a difference if she has freaking ability. You got other women that didn't have any ability. And they ran with that title for quite a long time. Because they had tits and ass and they were willing to suck dick. And I'm not being disrespectful to any woman wrestler that does work in the business. But sometimes that does happen. They got to do what they can to get ahead. If they're not getting anywhere, if they got to do that, they're going to do that. And I do respect them when they are doing it right. But when they do it wrong, they do it wrong, and I will bring it up. Tamina generally doesn't seem like she does that. And everyone else has had a title shot. Everyone else has gotten that title. Unless they did something monumentally stupid. So when is her time? Let her have at least one, and then let the people decide if she means anything or not. Now, if this is going there, I'm happy for her. This is what I really want. That's why she's in my intro and the position she is, because she is important. Now, the final thing I'm talking about is the Punjabi, if I'm pronouncing again, I just pronounce things wrong. Punjabi prison match. The cell itself was brought out. Jinder Mahal was brought out. The Singh brothers was brought out. And Randy Orton was brought out. And I felt very good to see this. It is an important match. And I'm very hyped for it. When the Singh brothers explained it and spoke English and whatever language they're speaking, I can't remember. It's not Hindu. It's something else. I keep forgetting the name of it. But when it comes down to it, hearing them explain it in English and Indian was actually good. Then Jinder Mahal talked himself. And I felt he did a very effective segment. Yes, he sounds very soft-spoken, but that's his actual style. He's a very soft-spoken person. Then Randy Orton came out, climbed up on top of that thing, and spoke the way he did. And I was impressed with it, next to being the height it was. And if you get vertigo, that will terrify you. You fall and kill yourself at that height. But he did a good job climbing the thing and still staying in character and not getting freaked out from the height, because it's even taller than Hell in a Cell. That can freak a person out even if they're not afraid of heights. So all three of them did a great segment. The Singh brothers are now one person, so they did pretty good. Randy Orton did a good segment, and Jinder Mahal did a good segment. I'm hyped for that match. But for the women's elimination match, no. For the US title, not really. For the tag titles, there's some hype because these guys are great dealing with each other, but not that much. So this was an average go-home show. That's how it felt. With very little hype for the majority of the matches and only hype for one. And that kind of shows what the Lex Man was saying. They took a lot out of Smackdown Live. They just did. They just ripped it. And it's sad to see because a lot of people still believe it's the A show when it really isn't anymore. It's not because they didn't have the talent. And it wasn't because they didn't have a great writer. They had great talent and great writer, and it took them both away. And now they're stuck with less amount of talent and a less of a writer in a Road Dogg. I don't think he's a bad writer, but he's not as good as the one before him. But it's just my point of view. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace!